Ryan Murphy, what is going on here? Because I have no idea what I am watching. Okay. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel Reviewed, where we talk about all things television and film from today and yesteryear. So today I just wanted to come on here and do a quick discussion, not even necessarily a recap of the show Grotesquerie, okay, on Hulu. It's a FX original, but it streams on Hulu the following day. The show is by Ryan Murphy, who I absolutely love. And y'all, if I say the word grotesquerie wrong, it's because I have braces. The braces that I have, they cause me to have a lisp, okay? Anyway, listen, something about me when it comes to movies or television, horror and scary are my number one. Like I am that girl. I love horror and scary movies or television shows, okay? Now, I am a fan of Ryan Murphy's work, from Nip Tuck, Gianni Versace, the O.J. Simpson, American Horror Story, of course, and American Horror Stories, like the Jeffrey Dahmer. I am a Ryan Murphy fan when it comes to his work. However, Grotesquerie is sending me, and I'm not sure in which direction, okay? As much as I do love horror and scary, I do have discernment when it comes to incorporating anything that has to do with Christianity and the Bible and stuff like that. I don't really care to toe the line. The older I get, I just be kind of straying away from that, with the exception of Ed and Lorraine Warren movies. Okay, the Conjuring franchise, those are based on true events, so I do indulge in those movies. But this Grotesquerie is crazy. Okay, let's get into it. So the show is centered around Niecy Nash character Lois Tryon, and honey, Detective Lois is a alcoholic with some serious issues. Okay, here is one of the opening scenes of the first episode, where she goes into this home where this family is basically sitting at the table, and they are all unalived due to some crazy situation that we kind of get tidbits about, but we do not know for certain exactly what happened. So we also get an introduction into Merritt, who plays Lois' daughter. And let me tell y'all something. I am not here for this character. Okay, like, her goal is to, I guess, be on a reality show, kind of like 600-pound life, 1,000 tons of fun, or whatever. It's crazy, and I am not here for it at all. And quiet as it's kept, every time they show her, every time she pops up on the screen, honey, all I see is the 1980s Garbage Pail Kids. Like, seriously. Like, these little bitty clothes they have her on, and I guess this is to accentuate her weight, to make her look larger than what she really is. I'm like, y'all can miss me with the baby, because it's definitely giving Garbage Pail Kid. Okay. So we also meet this I Love Lucy reject nurse, Nurse Red, honey. Okay, Lois' husband, played by Courtney Vance, he is in a coma. We still do not know exactly what led him to this coma, but when I tell you this nurse is all kinds of creepy, wrong, predatory, she is indeed that. And Nurse Red and Lois, they absolutely do not see it for each other, okay? Their interactions with one another are anything but friendly. You know what I'm saying? And we get a little bit more of why that is, I think around episode 2 or 3. And so, with all this craziness going on, we get this nun who just pops up. I think her name is Sister Megan, honey. I call her Sister Mary TMZ, because ma'am knows everything. She be everywhere and know everything, like she worked for TMZ. Okay. So as Sister Mary TMZ and Lois start striking up a conversation, Detective Lois is going over the crime scene with her and letting her know what happened. And so, y'all, we get this flashback of the baby. Okay. So when Detective Lois first goes on the crime scene with the family or whatever, she goes to the kitchen and it's this pot boiling, but we never see what's in the pot. But after this flashback right here, honey, and they put 1 and 2 together to equal 3, we realize that it was the baby boiling in the doggone pot, which is absolutely crazy. Okay. And this here is some little black tar looking stuff or whatever that's been on the crime scenes. And Detective Lois and them are trying to figure out exactly what this is. And she's explaining this to Sister Mary TMZ as well. So here we get a little bit of Detective Lois interacting with her daughter Mary at home. And honey, Detective Lois has a alcohol problem. Like, she drinks liquor like athletes drink water. Like, it is nonstop. She seriously has an alcohol problem. And of course, her daughter has a eating problem. It's almost giving gluttonous. You know what I'm saying? So here we get another crime scene of whatever this is that is going around taking these people out, honey. They completely dismembered these people's bodies and hung them up, strung them up like they was hanging laundry out to dry. Like, come on, this is crazy. And before this happened, it appeared like the people who were the victims of this particular act were like drug addicts or something. Y'all, this show is crazy. And then as you can see, that little writing, me just dead grotesquerie or whatever, I don't know, honey. This show is crazy. Ryan Murphy's shows are usually forthcoming, meaning we kind of know the characters, we know what to expect, we know what's going on, especially, I guess, in reference to American Horror Story and things like that. So this right here, for me, not knowing what the F is going on, honey, I don't know what to do, okay? And look who shows up at the crime scene, none other than Sister Mary TMZ, honey. When I tell you she be popping up like she is the one over here unaliving these people. She just be showing up like she knows when something is gonna go down and knows when something is gonna happen, honey. She is so nosy. She is nosy to the point of this lady is writing a freaking news article about these gruesome unaliving. Like, girl, you a whole nun and you over here invested in gruesome crime scene. Yeah, it's very weird. It's giving weirdo, seriously. Okay. So we get this moment where Detective Lois, she goes to visit her husband Marshall, again, who's in a coma, but we also get flashbacks of their relationship, and we learn that they are somewhat in a tumultuous position in their marriage. Marshall has had an affair, and of course he blames it on Detective Lois' work. You know, he says she works too much, and also, again, she has a serious drinking problem. And so here, y'all, we get an introduction into Father Charlie, who basically is over Sister Mary TMZ. And their interaction, y'all, when I saw them interact, I already knew what was going to happen with them too. And I was like, okay, I'm not here for this. So Detective Lois ends up going to this other crime scene. And that one ends up actually being somewhat of a farce. The lady on that particular crime scene, honey, she landed in this man crotch or whatever. But anyway, the heifer's still alive. But it's this box that she finds, this puzzle box that she finds that she cannot open. And also, it was a note left. As you can see, this writing on the paper, it was a note left behind on that particular crime scene. Anyway, she brings the box home to her daughter because despite of Merritt wanting to be on 600-pound life or 1,000 tons of fun, whatever her goal is, she's a very smart girl. Like, the girl is smart. You know, Detective Lois is like, you should be practicing to be on a freaking game show. You know, she just one of those, like a bookworm, or she's good with puzzles. But we also kind of learned in episode 3 or 4, why she's good with puzzles, because Detective Lois also was, she likes to play, you know, just put puzzles together or whatnot. So here we go with Detective Lois and Sister Mary TMZ, honey, on another crime scene. Honey, this was crazy. So here we have what this person's thing, whatever this is that's going around unaliving all these people, honey, this is their rendition of the Last Supper, and I was not here for it at all. And another thing, if you think about, go back to that family from episode 1, technically they were having their Last Supper too. So yo, this show is crazy. It's crazy. Okay. So moving on to episode 3, y'all. Okay. So Lois is talking to her daughter Merritt. Okay. Merritt was making a video or whatever to submit her entry to be on 600-pound life, 1,000 tons of fun, whatever. Okay. Anyway, so they end up going to the kitchen, and Detective Lois lets Merritt know, I'm going to make you a turducken. Honey, a turducken ain't nothing but meat stuffed and meat stuffed and meat, honey, just a bunch of foolery, okay? And Merritt is happy, honey. She like a happy as a kid in a candy store on a fairground about to get some cotton candy and a funnel cake. Anyway, they basically come to an agreement that I won't tell you how much to drink and you don't tell me how much to eat or whatnot, because when she is putting this turducken together, um, Detective Lois is throwing the drinks back. Okay. So also in this episode, we get some flashbacks of Detective Lois and her husband Marshall, how they met. While Meredith sitting down, stuffing her face with the duck and honey. She was like, "Mom, tell me again how you and Dad met." Blah 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 blah. So they go through this whole spiel of how they met. Detective Lois was a waitress, and he's coming to the restaurant all the time. He's a professor or whatnot, and they fall in love, get married or whatnot. So this puzzle at the bottom here. Now y'all had to watch this twice because I missed it at first. Okay, she Detective Lois, she likes to put puzzles together. And this puzzle she put together, I guess, at the beginning of her marriage. And honey, when I tell you this puzzle ends up manifesting in this episode, it was crazy. Okay. So y'all, after Detective Lois sat there and made the turducken, whatever, like I said, she was throwing the drinks back or whatnot. She go to bed, she gets a call about a crime scene she needs to come on. So honey, she shows up at the crime scene. She can barely walk. She barely pulled up in her car bed because she's drunk. Okay, been throwing back vodka and whatever as she drink. Honey, she walks into this. I don't know if it was a dance hall or whatever. And baby, when I tell you what she saw, I was like, okay, y'all doing too much. And so we get a close up of the person that's hanging from a pole, and basically it is a Baphomet. Okay. So the person that is going around and unaliving all these people, they basically took body parts from different pimps and ladies of the night and created a Baphomet. I had to put that star there because of the male body part that was hanging. Okay. Now, the fact that Detective Lois was completely inebriated, she was still able to identify every tattoo and every body part and call those people's name out verbatim to her partner and everyone else in that room who felt like she did not need to be there due to her current state of affairs with her being, toe up. But she was basically saying, these are the people in our community. We arrested so and so so many times, and the fact that you were not able to tell that that was her arm, leg, ankle, his bicep, his whatever, she basically showed the reason why she is Detective Lois. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, the puzzle she put together, the goat head. Okay, that is what the Baphomet is. The Baphomet has a goat head or whatnot, and it has parts male and female. And okay, so y'all, this is weird. Again, I know what Baphomet allegedly stands for, whatever, in the industry and things like that. So, and I have to say this too. When I watched Umbrella Academy, the last season of Umbrella Academy, they had a Baphomet in there as well. So I'm like, okay, this is the second show I watched in the last few months with a Baphomet. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm not here for it. I know it's entertainment, it is what it is, but I'm not here for it. So of course, Sister Mary TMZ shows up on the scene, honey, and this is everybody back at the back at the office, the detectives or whatnot, and trying to put pieces of the puzzle together to find out exactly what's going on. Because at this point, Detective Lois is like, whoever is doing this, they after me. They are trying to get to me, and we need to figure this mess out because after she left, before she left that crime scene with the whole Boston honey, she was like, whoever just did this, they got to be tired. So while they tired, we need to figure out who it is, and we need to track their behinds down because this is not going to fly. Okay. So in comes Ed, played by Mr. Travis Kelsey. And Detective Lois ends up running into him when she goes out. She's at the hospital, whatever. He's an orderly or whatnot in the hospital. And he lights a cigarette or whatnot. And they, spark up conversation. Now, y'all, sidebar, I don't know if y'all watch Claws. I love Niecy Nash bits. So that's one of the reasons why I tuned into the show outside of the fact that I'm a Brian Murphy fan as well. But y'all, I swear, when I saw her sitting next to Travis Kelsey, I don't know if y'all watched the show Claws. All I saw was Desna and Roller. Okay, if you know, you know. If you watch Claws, you know who Desna and Roller is. Okay, but I swear this was definitely giving Desna and Roller. Okay. Okay, so here we have Nurse Red. She ear hustling on Detective Lois talking to her husband Marshall. Now, y'all, these two do not see it for each other. So much so that Nurse Red after Detective Lois see Nurse Red in there massaging her husband's private parts, okay, all up in his anatomy, baby. Detective Red gonna have, I mean, excuse me, Nurse Red gonna have the audacity to tell Detective Lois that she wants power of attorney over her husband. Like, girl, you want power of attorney over her husband so you can sit up here and start hunching on him. That's what you want, you freaking pervert. Nurse Red is a weirdo. She's a weirdo. She's crazy. And I don't know what is going on with this lady, but I cannot wait to find out. So we get a little bit more with Ed and Detective Lois. They have a fondness for each other. You know, they like each other or whatnot, but not to the extent of crossing the line. Nothing like that. Okay. They have affinity for each other for whatever reason. He is a surviving alcoholic. Okay, and he recognizes that in her, and he's basically is trying to talk to her and just to let her know that it's okay if you need help. It's nothing wrong with trying to change your ways and to be a better person, because you know Detective Lois, she knows that she is not the best mother to her daughter. She even says at one point that she loves her daughter but not all the time, and the times that she don't love her daughter she wants to, but she just can't find it in herself. I'm like, girl, baby, you got some serious issues. I listen, this show, okay, whatever. So y'all, we get a scene where Merritt ends up opening that puzzle box, and inside that puzzle box are some coordinates, okay, to a specific place, space, whatever. So Detective Lois ends up calling Sister Mary TMZ honey, and they decide to take a road trip, okay? And this is where things get even more bizarre, okay? Bizarre. So before Lois and Sister Mary TMZ go on their little road trip, she asks Ed to come over and basically stay with her daughter. Like, he's bodyguarding her, I guess, until she gets back, which is crazy to me because she just met this guy. And honey, Merritt is not here for it either. She is kind of like questioning him, like, how you know my mama? Are y'all sleeping together? You know, she basically giving him the business, but at the same time, I'm like, you got this crazy person going around committing all these gruesome crimes, yet you're going to ask someone who you just recently came in contact with to stay and basically protect your daughter while you go figure out what these coordinates mean with Sister Mary TMZ. Like, nah, that don't make sense. So you have Sister Mary TMZ and Detective Lois. They are on their way to where the coordinates are leading. And as you can see, everything is very hazy. It's giving doomsday. It's giving apocalyptic. And, you know, on their way there, they just had this moment where Sister Mary TMZ starts singing, honey. They start singing this song because, you know, she's in her feelings because her and the pastor then hooked up, okay? And so, like I say, it's just a lot of craziness going on in this series. But yeah, they are headed to the coordinates and things just get weird. So ultimately, they end up at this pit, okay? This fiery pit, and it is just out in the middle of nowhere. Again, everything is looking very gloomy, very doomsday-ish. And so this burning pit, I'm assuming burning pit of hell, I don't know. It is just, it is giving apocalyptic at this point. Then you got this guy who kind of pulls up on them. He's driving this pickup truck, and he basically says something to the effect like he and his team were called there to find out what this you know, exactly what this is in this earth, you know, where this erupted from, and just basically telling Detective Lois and Sister Mary TMZ that they should not be there. They needed to get out. So they go to this gas station, and Detective Lois ends up running into this guy, this black guy. You know, he's there, his dog or whatever, ends up leading her to him. And he basically lets her know that the best thing for them to do is not to stay, but to leave. You know, he's basically saying, y'all can drive through the haze, just keep going until you get up out of here. I do not recommend that you all stay here. And he ends up giving them some type of gear that is specific for this type of environment that they are currently in. Again, it is giving doomsday apocalyptic. And here is Sister Mary TMZ. She opening up the instructions to that aluminum foil covering thing that the guy gave them, and she's basically confessing to um Detective Lois. She's basically letting her know that everything that is going on is her fault because she sinned. She ended up messing with Father Charlie or whatever. So she's basically saying that the things that are happening is because she is not living the way that she should. Y'all, it's crazy. This show is crazy. So as they begin to leave, they're driving through the haze and they run into this woman. They end up letting her in the car and she's yelling, she's screaming like, "Go, go, go, he's coming," and they just drive off. And this is the scene that happens at the end of episode 4. Again, I am not clear on where this is going, this series. I don't know if she is in a alcohol induced coma and dreaming. I don't know if she is in hell on earth. I don't know if she's in another realm, whatever, otherworldly, whatnot. I have no clue what this is and what exactly is going on. But what I do know, um, and I could, it's seemingly giving that this is an adaptation somewhat of the Seven Deadly Sins. And I could be completely off, but with the Seven Deadly Sins, you got lust, pride, envy, wrath, gluttony, sloth, and greed. And Detective Lois, she is definitely gluttonous. She has the sin of wrath because it seems like she's angry about the situation with her husband. She almost feels like he's abandoned her because she's like, I need you, I really need you. She being very selfish, especially with the state that he's in. Her daughter also is gluttonous, with her eating habits. And of course, like I said, Detective Lois, she has gluttony too because of her drinking. um the lust, it seems like Detective Lois may have an affinity for this new guy, Ed, if he turns out to be Mr. Nice Guy or whatever, as well as Nurse Red, who technically is lusting after Detective Lois' husband, with her predatory behind with the way that she's acting. Also, the lust between Father Charlie and Sister Mary TMZ, they didn't already hooked up or whatnot, but I don't know if that is what we're going to get out of this series. Like I said, if it's going to be a adaptation of the Seven Deadly Sins, I'm lost. Okay, I am going to continue to watch it because I do want to see what is going to happen and exactly what is going on and what is doing these horrendous crimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, who or what is responsible for the things that we are seeing in reference to all these gruesome outcomes of these unalivings. So we shall see. We shall see. Well, that's all I have for you guys in this video. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I just wanted to come on here and give some of my thoughts about this show because, honey, I am lost. Okay, LOST, lost. Anyway, I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.